Oh,
There it
SpaceX,
is.
explode it, explode it. Coming back down.
Welcome back, everyone. Let me get the chat open here.
What's up, y'all?
We are FastTrack, the feedback people on Fridays. This
FastTrack,
is
get your back scratched. They're alive. Yes, we are. Wrong use of there. But what's up, at odds? How you doing, man? They are
sweet.
alive. Yes, that's what it is.
Yes, welcome back at odds. We are live, indeed. Very live. Hope you are too. And yeah, we're back to give more feedback on tracks. We've got a nice little queue here, and for anybody who's new, feel free to submit to the form that we've got. That link should be going in the chat. Going in, going in, going in. Sold.
Yeah,
Okay.
someone actually used it. Well, they typed it in. I don't know if they actually submitted, but
Nice.
Raki Banny said feedback. I don't know if we got your song, but it's not that long of a form, so hopefully you don't have trouble. But yeah, for anyone else that wants to use it, do it. They're alive. That's better. Yep, yep. There's no S in that, but it's okay. Just kidding.
Yes.
But
Cool.
good.
You want to read through the queue?
Yeah. So the people we got Cone, we got Tremulous. We'll do that second song you submitted as your request. We got Jumbo, we got Quinn, we got Jokerhead twice with two songs. So Jokerhead, you know how it goes. Um, I mean, I don't think he's in the chat yet because he makes a hoot and a holler when he comes in. But
Oh, he
when he
does.
does, yeah, when he does, we'll probably only do one song. So you gotta choose, just so we can get other people in as well.
Or
So
pay us those big bucks.
that's true. You could pay us. I mean, not even big bucks. Just $5 minimum. If people want to skip the queue, that queue. If you're like, oh man, that queue doesn't sound too
Fun.
long. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe I'll just wait. Well, we give really in depth feedback. So each song is like 15 minutes. So if you're like, oh shit, that's way too long, I might not get played this week. That is a very real possibility. Not for
Very real.
Tremulous. We got you at odds. So use that tip link, $5 minimum. If you want feedback right away, we'll get you right now. But yeah, we'll see once the stream warms up. But we'll just go ahead and go with Cone first, and then Tremulous, like I said. Jumbo Quinn, Jokerhead. We got you guys. But cool. Do you have anything else before we dive in to the music?
Nope, don't think so.
Okay, we got Cone with whatever finished release.
Just whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever. No big deal. Alternative. Indie Tronica.
Hmm.
Indie pop. Interesting.
Interesting.
Indie Tronica.
Interesting.
Wonder if K Tremine falls under Indie Tronica. Probably more rap.
Oh fuck! Hold on. Daniel Eck is making me sign into fucking Spotify.
Daniel X. Who's that?
Daniel Eck, the CEO of Spotify, who
Of BitTorrent?
yes, previously I think uTorrent it was.
Oh, uTorrent. Okay, let's see. Gotta love it.
Yep.
Makes
He was
sense to
like,
me.
"This is slightly less bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's give him like 0.0018 cents per stream
Instead of completely
instead of
stealing.
zero."
Yeah, it's true. Gotta love it.
You know what's
I want.
funny about that? Now that I think about it, I'll bet you that like there's a certain percentage of the population that's willing to steal like digitally, and then people who aren't. And I'll bet you that like the cumulative action of everybody going to streaming is probably paying artists worse than if only some people were just allowed to steal.
Wait, that just
like
I. Okay, yeah, you're gonna have to break that down
like
for me.
I will bet you that like there's probably some percentage of society that like doesn't want to steal music, like
Yep.
even if they're able to. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say that that's like I don't know, 30% or something like that. Maybe it's higher, maybe it's lower. And then if you let the other 70% steal still, but those 30% actually buy songs and albums at full price, the artists would be getting paid more.
Yeah, I agree. Than what it
It's
is right
kind of
now.
fucked. Yeah. It's funny. Well,
Yeah, I do like the idea of everybody just able to listen to shit though, but
yeah.
at the same time,
It's interesting because it's like it's nice that everyone gets to listen to stuff, but it's also like it takes a lot of effort to make music, obviously. And it's sort of like people make art, and to an extent it can be like viewed, like in pictures and stuff for free. But like if you're a really good artist, people will buy your art. And I guess there's
right?
some parallels to that in music too, but it's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
Maybe
like
that's where
physical
NFTs come in.
merch, NFTs. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Have you bought an NFT? I haven't.
No, thank God.
Yeah,
Ed Odd said, I'm on time and I'm awake. That's good. Everyone we spoke to at work with Spotify seems like they're really driven to make artists more money. It's just hard when your hands are really tied by the industry. Well, sort of, but like I mean, Spotify like came up with the royalty model, and they pay artists like less than other streaming services do. So they choose to pay out less royalties because of their internal like revenue systems, which they make very opaque. You can't like find out how a stream correlates to a certain amount of money. And they choose to give like podcasters millions of dollars, like Joe Rogan with like the $100 million deal or $200 million deal, versus just paying artists and being a great music platform. So I don't really have a lot of sympathy for them. They kind of fucked it up.
Yeah, I wonder just how that pricing model works in detail. I wish it was like, well, I wonder what it's like, but is it like a direct to consumer kind of or direct to artist kind of thing? Like,
No, it's just like there's just a static rate that they don't tell you how it's determined. They choose arbitrarily what the rate is, like 0.008 cents per stream or something like that.
I think it's 6. It's
Yeah,
less.
it's even worse. And it's a little bit better. Like Apple Music is a little bit better. I think Amazon Music might even be a little better. And Tidal's also definitely better. Like 40% better, something kind of significant. But
All I'm saying is everyone we spoke to on the ground. You spoke to people that work at Spotify at the lower levels.
it's not as
That's
black and
super
white.
cool.
I mean, I'm sure
That
that
makes
like
sense. Yeah,
if you
comes
work
down
at
from the leadership. Yeah.
yeah, like if you work at Spotify, I'm sure there's 1.5 million reasons you can say this is where our costs and revenue goes, right? But at the end of the day, it is somebody's decision how the revenue is structured and what the rate is. And it's like this business model didn't exist really before Spotify. So they kind of chose to structure it the way they did versus like there are other alternative models that have been proposed. For instance, if you listen to 10 artists in a month and that's
It
it, and
splits up here.
you pay $10 a month, right?
That's what I was thinking.
Let's say that you listen to artist A 50% of the time, you know, or like $5 of your subscription would go directly to them, versus like basically this pool where if you don't listen to enough music, then the amount that you pay doesn't actually go to any artists. It goes straight into Spotify's pockets.
Mhm.
So like they could sort of figure out a way that it would be proportional to the amount that you listen, and then they would have a fixed profit margin on each user, which like it's not a bad business model. It could be workable. They just don't want to do that because it's not as profitable for them. So there's different ways. It's not like they're locked into it necessarily, but they've created a market that may be difficult to change. So
True.
hats off.
For real. Yeah. I do want to see. I would love to see how it's broken down. But, all
Yeah,
right. Let's go listen to music, shall we?
let's do it.
All right, man.
You got it
Whatever.
up?
Yeah. You ready?
Wait, is it? Oh yeah, whatever. Okay, let's do it.
Whatever. Colin. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, verified artist.
I think I have a verified artist as well. Just means they're in Spotify for artists.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I have that too.
Probably.
It's like a problem
Nice
I
kick.
keep solving gets me every time. You're
Very
like
clean
the
mix.
thunder and the sunlight when the stars
I wish the
align.
vocals were a
You're
little
like a
louder.
mountain I can
Very
climb
open. The
on top
vocals
that
are
I can reach, and it gets me every
pretty
time.
radio treated.
So I go
I wonder if they're
Interesting
inspired by
vocal
Tame Impala.
Yeah. A little bit of that.
You got the great Gatsby text.
The drums are a little Tame Impala-ish.
Oh, the album art too. I like the bass.
whatever you gotta do, please do it fast, 'cause I still try
Oh,
to
interesting chord.
get used to seeing the real you.
Sounds like slightly unsettling.
I like that last bit. Rhythm's a little weird there.
The guitar could have been a little bit louder, especially since it was the main kind of thing.
The vocals starting to sound a little bit fake.
Whoa. The kick sounds great. I want everything to be in the kick level.
Yeah. I like that there's a nice stereo spread thing happening.
Oh yeah.
that. Mm,
You
it's the
don't like
four.
that?
No, because it ends on the fourth, and it's like there's no feeling of finality.
Yeah, yeah,
It should just end on the one.
true.
But
Damn, bro, you fucked it at the end. Josh just gave you 0. No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
there's like some small things that are a little bit like decision making, and like the guitar solo I thought was
Underwhelming.
like yeah, but I mean I appreciated throughout there's definitely a sense of restraint which we don't hear all the time,
Yeah,
and like keeping things clean, like the mix is clean, the songwriting's clean, it's like kept pretty short, I think a good length.
yep,
And it's just kind of like a groove, like a chill laid back groove.
yep,
There's like a few things like sound wise or content wise that are a little iffy, like the guitar solo didn't feel totally confident, I think, and it also like it wasn't mixed loud enough, but it just didn't feel that confident.
yep,
Um, and then like the vocal, like I think the part is fine, and I sort of like that processing. I actually wish it was maybe like again more dramatic, like less in the uncanny valley territory, and like that effect was taken like more intentionally, to its limit, but not the whole time, so that
yep,
you like clearly know there's a cool effect and it's interesting enough, but it doesn't need to be like you know on top of us the whole time. um, and then other than that, I mean, I think the drums sound great, like the groove is great. There's some nice like stereo pad stuff that goes on. And I like that instrument at the end, except for that last note. But yeah, it's like different, I think, than a lot of stuff that we hear for some reason. What do you think?
yeah. I can agree with that. Yeah, Tame Impala kind of vibes. I think the kick sounds really good, really clean mix. Um, I think the hook kind of seemed to be the most well mixed part. The vocals seem to be nice and full, um, nice and focused. It's just during the verses, I felt like the vocals, especially in the first part, and you talked about the effect already. Um, it was kind of uncanny valley. So maybe I would say like bring that up a little bit in terms of just volume. Same thing with the guitar. It's just part of the underwhelming effect. It might have been like the part as well, like you said, there is restraint and it doesn't need to be all shredding all the time, but it also just felt quiet. So that's
Yeah.
why we're like, oh, we get this impression that the guitar's like
Like the part might be okay if it like again if it were mixed in better, and
yeah,
maybe if it had more like of an interesting timbre to it, because it was also kind of a boring guitar tone.
yep,
If it was really cool, had some crazy, sparkly, flashy effects on it or something like that, and it was kept simple, then it could be like great the way it is. But otherwise, I don't know. And then honestly, when I heard you then do some faster things, there were a couple points when like the rhythm just what didn't feel professional or confident,
mm,
and those it's like I almost wish that you left those out and maybe relied more on effects to make that
same.
solo cool, rather than trying to like play faster stuff that might not be completely in your wheelhouse.
All right, that's it, Josh. Pull out your guitar right now, shred it.
All
Prove
right, let's go through it again.
prove your worth. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, listen to that guy. He can play guitar pretty well. But yeah, I could agree with that. Yeah, overall kind of decent. The content wise, like the hook was like pretty decent. It kind of just repeated the bass line, simple, nothing too crazy, kind of catchy, and yeah, that's kind of my overall vibes right now. First impressions. I think right now my score for vibes is at no. I mean, I'll say like 65 between green and yellow. What about you?
Yeah, I think I would say I'll say 70 actually. Like I do like the overall feel of it a lot. Um Maybe I'll even go 75. Like I like the sort of vibe that you're going for here, and it's kind of unique. I think it's more for me like the execution of the content production that brings it down.
Yep, yep. Adod says cool ideas in the instrumentals. Not sure about the vocal delivery. Yeah, I can see that. Um, Especially with the verse, it just like a little bit less confident than the and just like the way it was processed. Same thing. Like
What if there were like vocal harmonies on that thing or something? Like I don't know. I don't know if you need to make the parts more complex, but I think like this is something that could use some leveraged mixing and effects stuff production to like make it shine without being like more musically complex.
yeah,
So, I don't know.
agreed. Content.
Yeah, and then like again, content talked about it, like just cleaning up your delivery of your vocals, like maybe adding some parts, being careful with the effects, cleaning up your guitar solo or making it sound more confident. Um, but again, like drums, those like sound choices are great. I think the pads and the stereo stuff is good. It's nice and simple, and I think again the length is good. I think I like the bones of the song. It's just some of the execution and delivery could be improved a little bit.
Mhm. You like the bones, but you don't like the fat. No, I'm just kidding. The
Yes.
chubby song. No, I'm just kidding. It's not very chubby. It's pretty kept pretty clean actually. Uh, we had fast track like thick song. No, I'm just kidding. All right,
Oh
I'm done.
yes, we
I'm
sure
done.
do.
A lot of low end. You know what I'm
That
saying?
thick bass.
Oh yeah, thick bass. Which I like the bass line here. Content, yeah, it's like simple, short, sweet. I don't think I ever got bored, so that's good. That's a great point to have actually in a song. Um, there's just a couple things that just were underwhelming, like we talked about already. The guitar solo, kind of the verse vocal. Um, drums, I think, sounded pretty great, pretty fantastic. Uh, if everything was just as loud as the kick and up front, I think it'd be cool. There's a nice pumping groove to it. There was some interesting like chord progression parts. I don't know if you caught like the actual like theory behind it, because to me, I was just like, oh, this sounds weird and unexpected. I don't think I hated it, but it might even be a part that I kind of liked because I was just like, what is happening? This feels unsettling. I forget. It's like maybe in the second third of the song, perhaps 2/3 of the way through. Uh, so that's kind of cool, and yeah, it's decent content overall. I think my score is probably like 58 between green and yellow. It's just like like some solid stuff happening, but kind of just underwhelming overall for me personally. What about you?
I just realized it sounds a little bit like it could have been written by like an Oompa Loompa going through a psychedelic phase.
An Oompa. Okay.
It's got a lot of those that like perfect fifth, like up and down. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. Nice.
But yeah, no, I think like again, content wise, I like the bones. I just am not so sure about some of the individual performances. So what was your score for content?
Uh, I said 58.
58. Yeah, I'll say 60. I think it's like, yeah, falls in line.
And then production.
And then production, again, I mean, I think the loudness, it sounds like it might be a little bit quiet for streaming standards, so that's maybe something to look into. But then obviously there's some leveling issues, some basic ones with the guitar part and possibly your vocals, and overall just like I think you've got good stereo spread and like a good foundation, but you need to make sure the levels of like the few instruments you have make sense, and especially like adding some effects to your vocals and or the guitar part to make them more exciting could help a lot. But I think it's on a good track. It's better to be less busy than more busy and to start
Yeah.
from that place. So I like that about it.
Yep. I agree. Nice clarity. Balance is kind of needs to be reworked. You know, confidently showcase what you're trying to put in the center stage. You know, nobody
Mhm.
wants to see some timid guy
Yeah.
facing away from the audience playing their guitar or singing. So yeah, production. I have. I think it might be the high score for me. Um, Maybe like 79 between green and yellow. I like how really clean it was, but there's just some balance things that are kind of I think a little obvious that need to be fixed. What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave mine at 70, I think, just because I think some of the oversights with the individual parts are pretty important and making it more exciting. But yeah, it's good to have the nice overall balance.
And I didn't do this intentionally, but I think the track total that puts me around 69. But I was like, I think it's 65. There's something about a song that has to hit me that where it hits a 69. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's true too.
It doesn't have a 69
It's not
energy.
just a number.
No, it's not. It's a feeling. You know,
Yeah.
and it's a little bit more depending on who you ask.
Yes, depending on who you ask. But yeah, I think I would say it's like a 70 for me. It's not
Yeah.
69 territory, but it's good. I like the overall feel. Just a little bit of tweaking is needed to make it sit extra well. So,
Yeah, I like the album art. The album art's pretty cool.
mhm.
It's pretty nice. But yeah, shouts out to you, Cone. Thanks for the submission. Appreciate you. And Tremulous. Our guy at odds in the chat, ready and giving feedback as usual. We love at odds. Be like at
Yes,
odds.
indeed.
So he said, "Fuck his old track feel." Well, it was submitted a while ago, so maybe he had finished it already. I think, yeah, the link is gone. So, hope the release of that song went well at odds. We will go to your next song at your request. On Road, work in progress. Deep techno, more with the urban decay slant. Interesting. Okay, like industrial, perhaps.
Hmm.
But yeah, feel free to drop any info in the chat about your song at odds, and yeah, we'll gladly listen to it. My link's not working. Do you have it pulled up?
Let me get this. One sec.
Okay. Let's see. Oh shit! Oh shit! Wait.
Is it not working?
No, it's just playing.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All right.
mute my mic. Oh no, I can't.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
What's going on?
I'm sneezing.
All right, I got it pulled up.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, on road, Tremulous. 3, 2, 1. One hour goes fresh.
Uh-oh. Hold on, we got to pause. We just lost the screen share.
Oh man,
Damn.
just when I was getting good.
I know. Okay, let me save the day real quick.
All right, I think 27 is when we should resume. That's when it starts to get interesting.
Yeah, that's about where I was.
Sorry, at odds.
Sorry, we are at odds against technological
Yep, had to do it.
things.
Yep.
Okay.
Delita.
All right, I think I got it. Update
Yeah.
stream and
We going.
boom, we're back.
There
All
it
right,
is.
let's do it.
All right, Tremulous on the road. 27 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Almost like a
much I like the main kick pattern.
You mean what?
The main kick pattern, or like the snare thing. I wish there was like a sort of variation of it.
Yep.
It feels like it's moving over it a little bit.
Nice zombie on the- I love those stabs. That's my favorite part. I wish he did more with it, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
The way I'm looking at it right now, it's like a video game soundtrack kind of like a background music. Just by the sheer amount of like absence of main line and variation. But when I put it in that context, I could totally vibe out to it and like play a video game minutes. But like if it came up on a playlist, I don't know if I'd stay the whole 8 minutes.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that I would, to be
Yeah.
quite honest.
But that's why we ask these questions. So,
Yes.
at odds, let us know. Deep techno, haha, hypnotic repetition and ambient vibes. It's headphone music, deep techno, not necessary for dancing. Okay, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Headphone music? What do you mean? Like, what would be the?
So, do
Would
you?
somebody just find this?
Yeah, with headphone music. Do you like listen actively the whole time, or do you put it on in the background while you're doing something? You know, because there's lanes for it. Yeah, I could see it. You know, like work playlist, deep focus 2023 or something. You know,
Yeah.
and this song comes on, it's like, okay, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
yeah, that was Tremulous, our boy at odds. Appreciate you. He made us set through 8 minutes, but hey, that was not. I wasn't very bored. I don't think once I first like. Maybe it was like, I don't know, Stockholm syndrome or something. When I first saw that it was 8 minutes, you and me noticed at the same time.
Yeah, we're like,
So
oh, fuck.
you get that feedback of like, oh, when do we start to say like, all right, what, like how long do we have here? It was around I think 1 minute 30 or something. And
Yeah.
as repetitive as this song is, it's like that's pretty impressive that it took us that long to be like, okay, how long is this?
That's
But
true.
yeah. So shouts out to you. Vibes, first impressions. What do you got?
Yeah, I
Just made
mean,
for the background. Yeah, I agree.
definitely background. I mean, maybe I could see sort of video game ish vibes. There's some sounds in there that
Yeah,
are a little
especially the
bit
way it
video game
progresses,
ish.
and they can like map it to like different areas of the level. Like when it
Yeah,
gets more tense, it like goes to the
that
more
might be
drummy part.
cool.
But
My main thing, I don't know, like I personally like maybe it's not super my style, but I was kind of bored, honestly.
yep,
Um, and I think I'm not super satisfied with the like main pattern. I think it just sounds kind of annoying, like the
the little siren. Oh, okay.
like it's too close together. Like there's not enough of like a like enough of like a rolling rhythm to it. It's very like stop and go kind of, just because the way that it's spaced. And I just don't love the pattern. Like maybe if it was a different pattern and it was more, it flowed throughout more, and also if it was a little bit more complex, so it wasn't just like this tiny little like 2 bar thing or whatever that's repeating like 1 2 1 2 1 2 over and over and over and over again for the end of eternity. So I don't know. Like I wasn't super in love with the like the main pattern, which was throughout, and
So
there
when you
was
say
no
main pattern, it's just the drum.
yeah, the main drum pattern kind of
I
that
actually really
holds the
liked it.
whole groove together.
Yeah,
um and like
I wasn't that.
you sort of like usually can get into that stuff after however many minutes of just trancing on it, but I don't know, I wasn't super drawn into it. Like it wasn't as hypnotic as I'd hoped it would be. Like I like when these kind of grooves get you in some sort of headspace where there's like the beat is falling over itself to the next bar, and it sort of keeps you like locked into this like hamster wheel, carrot on a stick type thing. And I just didn't have that here because it was too like stilted or something. It was like there wasn't enough of a flow to it. So that's just maybe personal preference, but I didn't love the main rhythm, which kind of ruined the whole thing for me a
That's
little bit because it's like
that's
that's the
pretty.
whole
Yeah.
thing. And I also feel like there's partly like value and impact to making a repetitive groove that really gets people tranced in and hyped in, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But with this, it just to me felt more like low effort, right? Because it's so easy to just like loop a beat and sort of not think a whole lot about what the beat is to begin with, versus like really putting in the effort. And Chris is having fun here.
Yep.
Really putting in the
I
effort.
really liked the drum. Like I was a big fan of it actually. The
Yeah,
drums. The drums.
it's a little bit.
When you were saying the main pattern, I thought you were talking about that like burner, burner, burner. It was
No.
like literally just the like a siren the whole time. Like
Yeah.
I thought I to your point, like there's some deep house songs that I could think of where they make a bass line. The one specifically I was thinking of was one by Dirty Vegas where it goes like boo 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 doo boo 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 boo. Like I could listen to that for 10 minutes and like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
grooves out, you know.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
it's not anything crazy, and maybe that goes under at odds criteria as banger vibes. But I don't know, like that could be as like a headphone music I could put in the background, but it's just good, like a great melody.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's plenty of long grooves that I like a lot. I just think that the longer that it is, almost like the more important it is to make sure that it really sucks somebody in.
Yeah.
And if you're just like trying to notice patterns in a genre and say like, oh, well, they always have this repeating thing, and then you just do a random thing relatively and repeat it a lot, it's not going to be as juicy or as good as one that's like really honed in on. And like these guys will probably spend a ton of time like moving
What's
stuff
up,
back,
Finding Normal? Thanks for the follow. Sorry.
yeah, moving stuff back and forth like really minutely to get like the perfect groove
Hey.
you actually get sucked in. So I think it's not just about repetitiveness and how long it is and repetition, all that stuff. It's about like getting the exact right groove to repeat, so it's actually interesting, rather than holding your listeners hostage. So most listeners are not held hostage. We are. If I were just listening, I would have clicked out very soon. And I also think the build was a little bit too slow at the beginning, and it wasn't that
Yes.
interesting. Like I was just like
It was
waiting for
quiet
something
too.
to happen. Yeah,
That build, yeah, I had
quiet.
heard of.
I was like waiting, like what's going to happen. And then when it came in, it wasn't like super dramatic when it came in. So I just feel like maybe it's like a draft stage sort of, and like what you need to do is go through and make sure that every part of time is intentional, right? Nothing is random. Nothing is just like I threw this together. It's got to be like the intro is the way it is because it's interesting and it grooves well and it leads in and creates drama and build and all that stuff, and it's unique or it sounds great. It's got to have something. It can't just be stock. It can't just be boring. So yeah, that's my main vibes. And it's like the other stuff, there's not a whole lot necessarily to say about or to discount either, because I think like production's okay for the most part. But yeah, that's my main vibes. And yeah, that's fine. I
I
mean,
want to
it's
get into this.
this is feedback, so the whole point is
Categorically
like
disagree.
we might, well, yeah, I mean, it is subjective, right? If somebody likes a groove or not, and the way that you would test it is see how many people actually listen to it.
Damn.
That's the test, right? It's not me. So if people like it, then I'm wrong. If they don't, then maybe I'm right. Or maybe it's just there's more people with a preference towards grooves that are kind of a little bit juicier, a little bit more sort of well crafted, to sort of be like very hooky and to be less stilted. But also, like, I understand if you're the person who makes the groove, that you're going to have a certain connection to it. It might be your style. It might also just be the sunk cost fallacy of like you spent time on it, and so now you think that it's the best thing ever.
Uh
So
oh.
that's I mean that's the whole point though of feedback in any genre, not just this, is that somebody else is going to have a very different perspective, having their own tastes and background, but also not having worked on it for however many hours and being glued to it. So that's just my opinion as a feedback giver. If I were a listener, I wouldn't have played all the way through. I like plenty of stuff that you create at odds, but this one for me just felt a little bit low effort, a little bit sort of long loops repeated. Do you want to give scores for vibes? Do you have any other thoughts?
No, I mean, I categorically disagree with the main rhythm. I do like the drum rhythm a lot. Like I was literally dancing to that, just like
It gave me a little
the
bit
whole
of
time.
vibes from the Doodle Bob episode.
What?
Yeah,
Why?
isn't there some like there's some music in there somewhere that's very cavemanish? That's like or something like that.
I don't know.
It's just
I
very
don't know.
primitive, you know?
I fucking wish. I'd love that.
Yeah.
The fact that Doodle Bob music is in my head. No, I thought the drum grew pretty well actually. I had some thoughts about the kick kind of timbre, how bass just heavy it was compared to everything else. But
Mhm.
yeah, I could groove to that drums all day. I agree with you though. Like the main kind of like thing that was repeated just entire in its entirety was a just kind of I don't know if low effort is the way I'd go. It's just like it didn't stand out to me.
Maybe a
Like
little bit dull or
yeah,
lackluster.
it's a little bit dull, and like there's stuff. I think the ambiance that you set up is actually really cool, and I felt like it could have been built up or not. Yeah, just progressive. Like I think you could have like it was underwhelming. Like when those stabs came in, like the bump bump bump. I love those shit, but you didn't really do anything with those. And I'm gonna I don't know if you're like trying to do anti melody, but like there was no like any sort of melodic hook to this, you know. And I don't know if you were trying to like challenge yourself to do that. Like you changed timbre of it very gradually as a progression, but I didn't get anything past that. And like I love those sounds. I wish you did do that. That being said, if I once I switch it on as like a background music, if I was listening to like this in a video game, or like I said, like a focused playlist, I don't think I would like go to the trouble of trying to skip to the next song because I'm doing something else. And if that's what you're going for, then yeah, I think in that case it nailed it. But I mean, also it might be like the way that we're listening to songs and stuff. Like we have to sit through an 8 minute song, so it's like we have to give it uh, for what Josh is saying, we're somewhat held hostage in most
Yeah,
situations. It's not that way. So
and like to your comment about the genre context and all that stuff. Yeah, it's true. It's not really my area, but it's not like I've never heard songs in this area, right? Like and it may also be that like I would say probably the most successful people in their genres bring people into their genres, right? People hear their music on streaming services or whatever, and they're like, "Whoa, this is really cool," and then they like get into them, and then they like start discovering other artists in the area, that kind of thing. But I think like if I've heard stuff that I like that's in this genre, that's one thing. But also people who are in it deeply and embedded may hear a lot of stuff that doesn't appeal to as many people, or is kind of the lower ranks of the genre and might sort of normalize it a little bit. So that's also kind of a perspective to take with with a grain of salt. But yeah, it's true. I mean, I'm not the biggest like listener to this genre, but I've heard stuff in it, and I know that there are things that I like in this genre.
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think I
It's
can.
just the fundamentals of like music and like what makes things enjoyable and pattern and rhythm and like psychoacoustics and all that stuff. But sorry, what you're
Yeah.
saying?
No, yeah, I agree. I taste a steak once I tell. Now I tell my boys how to grill. All right, see,
That's funny.
you
That's a
talking
good
about
one.
us?
Oh, and
Yeah,
probably Danny Pines. Welcome. I don't think we've had you on the stream.
yeah, bro. What's up? If you want to submit your song to get roasted as well, as you say, we grill them like steaks over here. So use that link. Use the tip link if you want to be first, because we have a queue right now. But it's always open. We review every song that we get. So welcome, welcome. Um, but yeah, we got a score for vibes from you. What do you got?
Yeah, I think I would say like 30% between develop and good to go. It's like on the way. I just don't think it's compelling for an over 8 minute song.
I'm gonna say I think I'm at like 60 actually.
Yeah, that's
I,
fair.
I was grooving actually, and this only in the context of like this is background music. This isn't a banger. Like I could see this in a video game, and that might have been like to your credit at odds, like or maybe like unfair. Maybe Josh didn't have the imagery that was going on in my head, but I had like a personal video game like Halo. I could
He was
totally see this
playing a
in a
video
Halo.
game.
I was like imagining the soundscape, and maybe you were doing it too, and like the music's for me and not for someone like Josh, you know. So music's subjective at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
that shows up in our scores. What's up? Hold up, Auntie. Um,
Hold up.
Hold up, we them boys. We got feedback link if you want to use it. Um, yeah, queue's filling up. But anyways, yeah, content. Oh wait, did you give a score for vibes? Yeah, you did.
I did. You did too.
Yeah, content. Yeah,
Yeah, and then I think we kind of talked about it already, but I
we
just
did.
think like the groove. could be modified a little bit to be a little just a little tastier,
Yeah.
just seasoned a little more or a little bit meatier or something like that. Some analogy. And
All
then
right. Love you too,
and
bro. I cuff you. Finding normal.
nice.
Dude, did
And
you submit? All right. Anyways, sorry.
yeah, he did. They did.
Fire.
Um, yeah, and then other than that, I mean, I think it's just like some of the transitions I thought were a little underwhelming, like where there were like some pauses,
Yeah.
um, just like weren't one thing that we see fairly often is like you try to do a little bit of a break or a pause or something, but you forget to like
Yeah. That 5 minute
stop
mark.
certain instruments. And if things are just running over that space, then the space isn't as effective. So like there were a couple points where I'd like to see a more dramatic break where not everything has to drop out, but more things so that it's actually noticeable. And that kind of can keep people engaged because they're like, oh, I heard a change, a clear change, and then it goes back and there's more like drama in the contrast of that kind of thing. So that's pretty common. Again, it's like just default modes of music production, right? If there's like tracks that are looping, going on, and then you have a break, you might choose to start muting tracks or start, automating stuff or whatever, but not do everything because the default is it's not automated or it's not muted. So that's pretty common too. But yeah, I think other than that, I don't have a whole lot else to say. I mean, it is pretty long, and I guess if that's your use case and you think that there are playlists or people that will find your stuff that are looking for that kind of thing, then by all means go for it. But also like keep in mind the length isn't an excuse or the form factor isn't an excuse to not keep people interested and retained. Like you have to lead people through the whole song and sort of get them excited for the next part or just super embedded in the groove to keep them on. Otherwise, it's kind of like, what's the point? Like, why am I listening? So, yeah. Do you have any content thoughts?
Uh, I'm so grooved to it.
Yeah.
See, there's something good there. I think at odds. Um, but yeah, I agree with everything that was said, except for the categorical disagree on the kick drum
Mhm.
and the yeah, that transition at around the 5 minute mark. I felt a little bit like underwhelmed when everything came back in. There seemed to be some movement around the bass line, but it just wasn't like hooking me. Like I think if you put something like crazy melodic switch up there, I was like, because some of the Halo soundtrack songs do that. Like it's like a repetitive kind of deep house thing. It's like in the background, and then like the second section they'll just do something crazy memorable, and then like only for a little bit, and then the rest of the song is like kind of progressive again. And it's like that the kind of shit that like makes the people want to come back. Like oh guys, you don't understand when it hits the 5 minute mark, it goes crazy. But instead now it's like can we really say that? So content score for me, I think I'm at 60 between green and yellow. What about you?
Yeah, I think the content is for me probably what's driving down like the overall like vibes.
Yep.
I think I'll probably say like a 10% between develop and good to go, just because in my opinion, I think that you could develop it a lot into something that's really cool, but it's like
Yeah,
just not there yet.
I agree
Um,
with that.
so
Production.
then production, I think production's pretty much okay aside from like the beginning being a little quiet and that kind of stuff. Maybe there are areas that could be a little bit like crisper or something, or maybe more well balanced. I don't know how much like mix bus processing you're doing or sending things through groups to glue stuff together, but to me right now it feels a little bit disjoint. Like different instruments all occupy sort of very different like sonic palettes almost, and I want things to feel a little bit more glued together.
I agree with that.
Um, I don't know how much side chaining you're doing. Maybe you're doing some with the kick or something like that, but definitely some sort of compression or like tape simulation or something that's gonna add some glue between things. I think could help. Maybe it has to do with ambience, like putting certain things through a really good reverb or delay or something like that together to glue them a little bit, and to make the overall like spectrum and sort of feeling a little bit sweeter or something like that. It's just like one thing is like a hard sort of low instrument and one sort of like a mid-rangey thing, and they need to be under the same umbrella a little bit more, I think. But yeah, otherwise, like it's I think it's fine in terms of general like mix practices, but it just doesn't feel super like refined, or maybe it needs to be mastered or something. But
Yeah.
I think just like some general shine could help a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, especially the beginning. It was like it felt really quiet compared to everything else, so it doesn't seem like it was mastered. Um, like, why would you ever do that? I had to like significantly turn up and then turn back down. So don't want that. Um, I can agree with that. Like I talked about it with the kick. It just seemed like there's all this ambient stuff going on. There's such a nice soundscape, and the kick sounded just dry as shit. It's interesting. Um, maybe I think the bass can be like just scaled back a little bit on that, like the sub bass of it, just so it doesn't sound so like up close to me. And maybe like feed some of it into like the rest of the ambient stuff that's happening. Like Josh said, maybe a tape filter or you know even like a little bit of reverb, just so it kind of fits the whole soundscape. It just felt a little bit like Josh said, disjointed. But yeah, other than that, I think I loved the kind of ambient effects that were happening. I thought they were done pretty well. There were some places like I could really picture like a setting. Um, I was reminded of Halo 3 ODST, but less jazzy. So yeah, production for me, I think I'm at like, where would I put this? Maybe 78 between good and yellow. What about you?
Yeah, I think production, I'd probably say like a 69.
All right, is a 69 vibe for you?
Yeah, I mean
I can see it.
it's getting there. I again think it needs a little more excitement and a little bit more like to be put together as like a final package kind of.
Yep.
Feels more like a collection of instruments to me than like a connected packaged song. Um, so yeah, that's there's I think there's some improvements there, mix wise.
Yeah. Overall.
But yeah, overall for me, I'd probably stick with like what did I say 35, 25. I'll say like 35 between yellow and green. I think like like personally I wouldn't listen all the way through this. I probably wouldn't listen very far through it at all because
Yep.
again, I think the intro build isn't that compelling either. And
Yep.
that's like it doesn't matter what the middle of your song sounds like if the beginning isn't going to keep people listening.
Yep.
So, I'm curious to see like if you release this, like how it does relative to your other stuff, that kind of thing. If it fits in with other playlists that are similar or whatever. But I think there's stuff you can do to make it better, right? It's not to say that it's
Yep.
hopeless. I just think that you could do those things and it would be even better. But it's up to you if you want to do those or not.
Yep. I can see that. Yeah, it might be my exposure to music like this. A lot of the Halo soundtracks have music like this, and
Yeah,
I've listened to many hours of it.
it
So
reminds me a little bit of that kind of stuff.
yeah, like yeah, this
I
is me
wonder.
facing the flood type shit.
This is a random question, but do you think I feel like generally when I've listened to music in video games, it sounds kind of like lower quality or something or a little bit crushed. I wonder if it's because they
A little
don't
bit.
want to fit like giant music files on like in game downloads.
I mean, yeah, it used to be like that, like
Yeah, I
fucking
guess.
8-bit music and shit.
Well,
But
of course,
yeah,
like that early on, but I don't know. I still feel like I've
probably
heard some
probably
tracks
a
that
factor.
sound good in games, but there's always a little bit of a like there's some dust on it quality.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're not gonna put the whole ass fucking lossless
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, of course.
Yo, it was good. Discord. Prod Tafa. I think you've been here before, but we got a
Yeah.
feedback form.
Prod
Welcome back.
Taffa, welcome back.
Um, did I get my overall score? Yeah. It's rare that we're so far away sometimes, but I'm here at 65 between green and yellow, just because of my exposure to this stuff. I feel like I could get a little bit more into it,
Mhm.
and I see a little bit where he's coming from, but I definitely see where you're coming from. Like this on its own wouldn't compel me. But if it was on like a video game soundtrack that I knew that I could attach imagery to, I could be down with it. I wouldn't skip it. But yeah. Okay, guys. So we have many people in the queue. Finding normal going crazy on our
Yes,
form.
and yeah,
We
final you asked if you can send more you've been cooking. That's great. We've gotten many submissions from many people, and we've gotten a lot where people come back and we review
yeah.
regularly. So we only do one per artist per stream because we have a full queue. Um,
Unless
so choose. Yeah, you can tip to go first, and
yeah,
otherwise, I think we'll be able to get to one of yours based on who we've got in the queue right now.
yeah. We got
And
Jumbo, we got Quinn, we got Jokerhead, we got Finding Normal, Last August, and Tafa. Shout out to all the submissions.
yeah, so we've got a good number of submissions. But again, if you want to be reviewed today, if basically if you're not Jumbo, Quinn, or Jokerhead, it's probably advisable to tip to skip. Um,
Yeah, we have a
and
hard cutoff at 7:30.
Yeah, we can read you the queue. We don't have it somewhere you can view yet, but maybe this is a good opportunity to plug something.
That's great.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, we've been working on a platform, like
Boom.
a web platform to help you guys get feedback, both from us and from a whole bunch of industry
So broken
professionals,
hurts.
yeah, from music industry folks. So we're working on the beta of the platform right now, and if you want to join, again, to get detailed constructive feedback like we do here, but probably even better from music industry professionals, as well as collaboration tools, stuff to make your music making process a little bit easier, then sign up for FastTrack.studio. That's the link in the chat. And we'll let you know when you get in, and hopefully you can help us make a great product that's helpful and useful for you, and helps you make better music faster. So that's what we're doing. And eventually we will put the queue and all of that stuff on FastTrack as well. So it'll be just super integrated. You'll have your info saved. You won't have to type, as much info each time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it should be
Yeah, you'd have
fun.
to fill out that long ass form that everybody talks about. But yeah.
Yes. And
Yeah, check it out, guys. We're building something cool. We're both musicians too, so
Mhm.
we're trying to figure out. We're trying to build stuff that we think is very valuable towards the music making process. So
And I
yeah,
think somebody also just requested the Discord, and then we got a couple joins. I think I saw Tafa in there.
fire.
If anybody else wants to join our Discord, hop in there. There's a bunch of folks now talking about music and that kind of stuff. So feel free.
All right, guys, and like we said, Q, if you want a tip to skip that length, pretty. Where's it at?
Yes, again, just to be
But yeah,
clear, if you're not Jumbo, Quinn, or Jokerhead, or maybe possibly Finding Normal,
Yeah.
we only have 45 minutes though, so possibly not. Finding Normal last August, Tafa would suggest tipping $5 to skip the queue, and you'll be first, or else you'll probably be on in 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
We probably won't have a stream next week, but we can
Yeah,
figure that
it's a
out.
vacation situation. But all right, without further ado, think about it. Think about it. You might want to tip. You might not want to. Listen to some songs. Listen
Put
to some
those thinking
feedback.
caps on.
Yeah, if it's good, you've seen our feedback though. That's why you're here, right? So, we go in.
Mhm.
So, all right, Jumbo.
Also, Finding Normal, if you want to be reviewed today or like whenever we get to you, let us know which of the 3 songs you want us to do.
Right. Yeah. And if not, like, no worries. If you're so broke that it hurts, it's fine. We get it. Like, we get to every single song that's submitted to us. We've gotten to every single song. That is now 470. So we
Yes.
will get to you eventually. It's just we got to get to people who submitted first.
Mhm.
And we also got to provide a way for people who need it now to skip the line. So,
It's my feedback, and I need it now.
I'm saying, talk about it. JG Wentworth, bro.
Called JC Fast Track.
There we go. 877 ass now.
Yes.
All right. All right. Let's go to this next song then. It's Jumbo. Song title This Way Up. It's a work in progress. Project description is none. And yeah. Okay. Wait. Is it This Way Up? D James? Jumbo? Okay.
This Way Up. Yeah.
You ready?
So. Let's do it.
All right. This Way Up. D James Jumbo. 3, 2, 1. Nice little bass here.
Interesting rhythmic thing.
It's the same one. It's the same rhythm. That
really?
boom boom. Yeah, it is. Boom boom. It's
not
like
repeated in the same way though.
Right. Ooh, I like this. I like these stabs, bruh.
The volume shit is so weird though.
What volume?
It's so quiet.
Oh, just like all of it in general?
Yeah.
Huh. It didn't seem.
It's getting a little better now.
Yeah, maybe I'm turned up all the way for some reason.
Oh.
This is cool. That white noise sleep was a little quiet. But...
I think everything is a little quiet.
Yeah, maybe I'm just turned up way up.
My thing is as a decibel read, so I know that it's quieter than usual.
Got it. That's good. I could have guessed that from the waveform, I guess, too. It doesn't really seem compressed at all.
It's like it's like 20 dB. It's like very significantly quieter.
Damn. At the level that I'm listening at, though, I really like what's going on. Actually, I think this is more digestible deep house, considering the last song we just listened to. Has a kind of an 8-bit kind of vibe to it. Or
Super
maybe like
dry, clean kick and snare.
a little bit better than Nintendo 64 type. Woo! What
I
is
like
this?
that part.
Oh, it's cool.
That stuff is so quiet though, but I like it.
I don't know what volume you're listening at and what volume I'm listening at. It sounds decent. Listen to the guy on the decibel meter. Yo, this is fire though. This is cool. I like it, Jumbo.
It feels a touch too dry to me.
I really like this.
Even like those background pads, I want them to have some more ambiance, some reverb or something.
I like it.
They just happen and they stop.
But the like bump, 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 that part?
Yeah.
I like it. I'm
Or maybe the snaps could have more reverb, but there's just no reverb at all, really.
I'm surprised you haven't said anything about the clap.
Yeah, I think the clap's okay.
I love everything that's happening right now. I think it's awesome. That little high vocal little thing is going crazy.
Ooh.
It's a deep house kind of day, apparently.
I like the chord that's behind that thing, but the attack is so short you can't really hear it.
True.
I think that could be layered with something more chordal. It feels like it's missing from this section. I can tell the chords are there, but you can't really hear them well enough.
Wow, what the hell?
Yeah, that's cool, but it's that trough there.
Rough?
Yeah, like there was something missing in that section, and then when the melodic part came in, it was like, whoa.
Dude, this guy just needs to, like, master this thing.
Now this sax does sound pretty fake.
Yeah, it sounds, yeah, a little less high quality.
It's like, it's not loose enough. Funny part.
Damn, we're getting through these long songs, huh?
Oh, I didn't even notice it's that long. Holy shit.
Yeah.
This groove is hooking me a lot more, I must say.
Oh, yeah. I didn't ask that question until 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Like, pretty damn good. He's kept me pretty much compelled this whole time.
I like this part.
Bring it out pretty nicely, too. Yeah, bro. It's good.
The subdivision
The
plus
content's
the,
fantastic.
yeah, the subdivisions plus the delay, it just really like interesting groove that keeps you
Oh,
locked in.
stereo feels good, too. Oh, that, it's like that guy's like just spinning around your head.
Yeah, it's cool.
Woo! I like that a
Nice.
lot, man. I like that a lot. High
That's
vibes
cool.
for me. What do you got?
I think like I liked the groove. It hooked me in a lot better, I'd say, and like there was some good like change throughout. It wasn't like the same thing. Some great like chord sections that were really like nice, and I think like the main thing throughout is I just felt like it was too dry, and I normally I don't want everything to be caked in reverb, like that's not good either. But I just think there need to be at least a few elements that sort of give the impression of space and sort of vastness, especially for this kind of thing Like you want some notion there's like some vast, ambiance, or it's in like you're in a big space and not just confined to like a sort of dry small area. Um, and so I wanted like either the claps maybe to have a little bit of reverb on them, and maybe they could use a little bit more layering. Now that you mention it, with how you mentioned about the claps, I don't, I think the drum sounds are really good. And a lot of the other sounds are too, but it just, there's a little bit of a dryness, stiltedness to it that feels like it's not as smooth as it could be. I want it to be impactful and smooth at the same time, and I think you can achieve that with putting something like those pads maybe through some background reverb that has a long tail, or maybe the claps, or maybe both. But overall, I think it was it hooked us in for 6 minutes, so that's a good sign.
Oh yeah. I'm just sorry. I'm just like revisiting the waveform here. There's just so many parts where I was like, "Ooh, what is this? Ooh, this is cool."
Yeah.
Like that's such a great like sign for a song, man.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, high vibes for me. I love the melody. I love all the different interesting synths that are happening. The bass line. I was kind of reminded of like Donkey Kong music at first, which I fucking love Donkey Kong music, but it had like a kind of
A
like
little
a
bit.
lower quality, like 8-bit kind of feel to it in the beginning. But maybe it was there just in general. But again, for my ears, I love listening to that kind of stuff, and this is cool. Very much approachable deep house, I would say. In contrast to the last song we had. Um, Also, in comparison, though, it reminded me of video game stuff. So interesting enough. Yeah, man, had me riveted for 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So
Yeah.
congratulations. The only part that I was just like, and I liked the part. I liked the sax, but I could tell, like what Josh is saying, it felt a little fake. Um,
Maybe it
it
was a
didn't
little bit
feel.
loud too, or something, because it was like kind of jarring when the part before had that like sort of stuttery thing that was cool, but I think the chords should have been a little bit more like audible there, or maybe like layered somehow so you could get the stutteriness and the body of the harmonic content. But then like when we were in essentially what was just a rhythmic section with a hint of that, and then it suddenly came in with this loud fake sax part, it was like, whoa, where the fuck did that come from? Like it wasn't really blended in super smoothly, and then
It
it was
didn't.
kind of in
It
your
didn't feel
face.
as really. I didn't. It didn't feel as bright as I thought it would. It should be.
Really,
It's interesting.
maybe, I mean, yeah, I don't know if it was super bright necessarily, but it was just kind of like stock and kind of flat to me.
Yeah, I felt that it was
And
kind
it
of
was
flat.
very like the timing, like a normal sax player does not like start and cut off notes like in the grid. Like
Sure.
that was
Yeah.
like, what is this? Is like processed cheese or something? Like it was kind of weird.
Damn, bro.
But
It's a
like
crash single of a saxophone.
I like the melodic, like the writing, like with it.
Yeah.
But I just think it didn't have any like really like, it had a little bit of character, a little bit of soul. But
Yeah.
if you had let it loose a little bit so that it could like extend past the bar lines, and maybe have like a more realistic sax, that could help a lot.
Oh yeah. And finding normal. Fuck. What can I do instead? Can I backflip instead of video? Yes, please. I can't guarantee
You can do
that
it,
it
but
will. Yeah. Unless you do it. Well, I don't want to get anybody hurt. I was like, unless you do it off a building and then like
nope,
it's just like crazy
we do
cool.
not recommend.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I forget I said that. But yeah, no worries, man. We just gotta be fair to everybody that comes in, that submits before you. Um, I'll try to be there next time when you guys stream. Yeah, so we typically stream every Friday, 5:30 to 7:30 Central. I have a vacation that I'm going to Seattle next week, and it's most likely going to be the case that we won't be streaming at our normal time next week. So yeah, it'll likely be 2 weeks from now. I think you might have sent finished releases. Yeah, so I mean, finished releases, I guess you're like, oh, okay, whatever, they can wait. But yeah, if there's a work in progress, or if you want to get it like right away, man, like feel free to just hit us the tip. I know if you're broke, whatever. I don't know if we take. I don't think PayPal takes backflips at this time, so maybe next time.
We can ask.
Um, you could make it an NFT, make some money on it, and then just give us the money.
Good
But
idea.
yeah, but
Resourceful.
yeah, we appreciate we appreciate the submission. So yeah, if you want to like stick around, you can always do that too. We love getting feedback from others in the chat too. So it's nice. Yeah, bro, vibes. I love this a lot. I don't want to dwell on it too long because we have other people to listen to. But yeah, my vibes. I think I wish that I was listening at the level that you had because I was just it must have just been very loud for me. I turned up my volume when I went to go get water just so I could hear you, and then I
Mhm.
came back and so yeah, it's probably objectively quiet, but I really like how this sounds. I think my vibes is like a 90 between green and yellow. I think this is awesome. What do you
Sweet.
got?
You said 90 for vibes?
Yep.
I think I would say I think I'd honestly like again a little bit of a divide. 70 for
Hmm.
vibes, I think, between developing good to go.
Yep.
And it's like, that's most of the way to good to go. I just think that the sort of dryness of it makes it feel a little bit more the dryness and like the fakeness of a few of the sounds, which having some reverb can make them sound a little bit more real sometimes because it sounds like they're in a room versus
Yep.
like in some non-existent space. But
Mhm.
yeah, it sounds a little bit amateur to me because of those factors, because it's so dry and a little bit sort of stilted. But I like the groove of it a lot, and a lot of the sound choices and the energy and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So then content. Um, yeah,
Sorry,
I
I'm
mean,
I'm vetting this guy's flip real quick. Apparently, he said in the Discord,
oh,
but
is
please
that?
continue.
Oh my fucking god.
Continue.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was. That's a backflip tutorial.
Where?
Are you learning how to do it in Discord?
No, I know. I don't see any such post.
It's in welcome and rules.
Why? That doesn't go there.
I don't know. Should we ban him? Just kidding.
No, that's our fault. I guess. Oh, some of my friends been putting in here. Shit. All right.
Yeah, we need to turn those notifications on or something. I
Oops,
think
my
we've
bad.
missed a few things. But anyways, yeah, content wise, it's surprising how long it held us in this, 6-minute song. Again, testament to the beat being good and the writing and all that stuff. And I liked all of the energy changes and the arrangement and all that stuff. I think really my critiques are more around the mixing.
Yeah.
So I like the content. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think the only content that like, and I love the sax part, but yeah, it sounded like just dull compared to everything else. It didn't sound as bright. Uh, it might just be like find a better sample or hire sax players, or even just processing, which is more production at this point. I guess the source of the
Or
sound is
like,
content.
I mean, I think probably the best thing, like you could maybe find a sax sample that sounds good because it's real, but also like there are some great virtual instruments that can do this stuff a little better and allow you to tweak the
Yeah.
parameters and make it more human and real.
Yep. Yep. Am I the only one watching this stream? Sometimes it happens. I am watching it, so it is what it is. But
At odds, are
yeah.
you still
So
there, or did we piss you off?
I don't know, but as you say that, there's three. Um,
Oh, nice.
yeah, the content for me, I think, there's a lot to like here. I'm at probably 94 between green and yellow. I really like the content a lot. What do
Mhm.
you have?
Uh, Wait, what was your score?
94.
94. Damn.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think I'll say like 88.
Yeah.
Just subtracting for like even if this was perfectly mixed, I'm sure there are some areas like transitions that could be made a little bit less awkward. Also, like content includes that sax voicing, like the sample part or
Exactly.
whatever, and
Yeah.
that section where it gets quiet and there's that weird stuttering thing. It feels a little bit devoid of sort of chord or melodic body.
Yep.
But yeah, otherwise it's some great stuff.
Yep. Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
and then production, I mean, the obvious is I think it's well below the levels that it should be. Uh, and it's we don't have to talk about why that's bad, but like if a listener goes from one song and they go to yours and it's way quieter, they're gonna be like, why is it so quiet? It doesn't sound as good. Monkey brain like loud sounds, so that's a thing to a pitfall to avoid. And what else other than that, I think I want a little bit more ambience, reverb, stuff like that, to make it sound a little bit smoother, a little bit more professional. And yeah, finding normal, we people do watch our vods if they're not here live, but we do them in order just for fairness.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So yes.
You guys posted up. Yeah. Eventually, it'd be nice to automate. Like, hey, this is where it is. But
I know it's
yeah,
Twitch is like
we need
Twitch
an employee.
basically Twitch, which ironically they have as much storage as they want because they're owned by Amazon.
Yeah.
Wants to delete live videos because they're usually very long. They want to delete them as quickly as they can
Mhm.
without
What is
users
it? 30
getting
days?
mad. It's 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
14 days. So we have to manually save all of them. We usually do. We usually remember to, but it's
Oh, we
pretty
used
annoying.
to.
They delete your stuff automatically.
Yeah.
Now, we used to stream to YouTube simultaneously, and we did have people on there that would watch too. But then Twitch was like, hey, you want to be Twitch partners? And we're like, ooh, that sounds cool. And they're like, well, you can't stream anywhere else at the same time. So we
Yeah,
no
maybe we
longer
should
do
say
that.
fuck it. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know if, like, I don't know. We'll see if it's worth
Yeah.
it in the long run.
Let's,
But
yeah, exactly. Anyways, what are we at? Production?
yeah, production. Any
Yeah.
thoughts?
I mean, I think you probably have a better scope given the DB level thing. Mixing wise, I thought everything was pretty well balanced. Actually, I don't think there was anything crazy that felt off to me. You were saying stuff during the song um, about some production stuff, but I don't know. Nothing glaringly obviously bad to me. Maybe it sounded a little bit dry, but I kind of liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And the sax was the only like big part where I was like, yeah, this sounds like Dole to me. But yeah, kick is better. Heard it good. I don't know what you talking about. All right, what do you
Don't
got
know.
for production?
Yeah, I think score wise, I'd probably say it's like a 70
Production?
between yellow and green.
Yeah, I could say like 79.
Yeah,
You're gonna yellow.
that's fair.
Overall, man, I really like this a lot. I'll put this at like 90, 93 between green and yellow. I thought this was awesome.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm
If
gonna
this is
say
like perfect, like decently mastered, and that the sax didn't sound cheesy, I think this would be maybe almost purple for me. It was crazy.
really wow.
Yeah,
Someone's happy on their vacation vibe.
I guess. I don't know, man.
Loving all of
Yeah.
it,
It
but
might have been like the 8 minutes that I had to sit to before, but
it could be everything's
yeah,
relative. But
I really did like this. I had moments where I was like, "Ooh, this is cool."
really, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'll say 82. I
Yep.
like it. I just don't love it. I think
Yeah.
it sounds a little amateurish to me, and I think the production could help, and some of the content being made more pro sounding could help too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Finding normal, trying to hard commit, trying to get us to. The thing is, bruh, like, it would be now, like basically, like you see how long our
yeah,
reviews are. Like we do this, like it'd be not fair to skip everybody, right? Like, what is it? Quinn, Jokerhead, and then Finding Normal, and then last August. We've had people who are like, "Oh, I'm gonna be gone. You could do me next week," or maybe their links like don't work, and
yeah.
then okay, maybe we can get to you, but it's like, I, just not good conscious for me to just like
Uh,
skip everybody.
so that is true. Did what the fuck? Oh, I see. Okay, Jokerhead
It's
does have one.
Yeah, he sent a link where it was just his like name. It was pretty good. Oh, dude,
Funny.
Quinn is next. I think Quinn.
Quinn 64 or something.
I'm just looking at this guy. I don't know if it's this guy, but like, somebody sent us a work in progress a while back that we are like, this is a purple, and like
Really?
we said, yeah, I think it was Quinn, but I'm not sure.
Oh shit.
We're like, this is a purple. Let us know when you release it because it was a work in progress. I
Hmm.
think it's this guy, but I'm not sure.
Interesting. Okay, we'll see about that. And thank
Yeah.
you for the compliments. Finding normal. We appreciate them, but we do not take bribes unless they're money.
Yeah. Jokerhead will call it a vibe, but really he's just skipping the queue. So
Yeah.
don't listen to him. But all right, you want to go, Quinn?
Yep. Let's do it.
Staring directly at the sun, work in progress. A song about finding that connection with someone out there, wherever they are. Even if your only connection is staring at the same sun. No, don't do that, kids. You will get superpowers. I'm just kidding.
Blindness,
Yeah.
superpower. Your hearing will get better if you're blind.
I'm
That's
saying
probably true.
every single sense will get better,
Yeah.
except your sight.
Except for your sight.
All right, you ready?
Yep. Let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
I've been waiting all day, thinking about what you gon' say. Yeah.
More boxes recorded.
Does your heart have room for two?
Oh no.
And it's the middle of May.
What's up?
This is
Said
good.
I've been waiting all day.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Down.
The sky's a new shade of blue.
Woo!
Oh fuck
Feels
yeah.
like you're out there somewhere
told
looking
you.
for me.
Purple.
Can you see everything I can see? Said I've been waiting all day, and it's the middle of May. Tell me exactly what I'm supposed to do.
Whoa.
Lush.
That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the shit right there.
You did it again. I told you. I don't forget this.
Those drops, so nice. That's what I'm always talking about. Ooh, getting a little softer.
Oh yeah. So dry and crisp, and then just so lush. Masterful.
Nice.
Purple. We got it.
So nice.
Quinn, bruh. Okay,
You were
so
right.
I told you, bro. I don't forget. Like when I'm like, oh god, this is a good musician. Like,
Fuck. He
yeah,
was
the
here like
last
last
time.
week.
Oh yeah. The last time like, if I look up Quinn, the last submission we have, it's a work in progress, and it was a purple,
You know
and
when
we
it was
did it
from?
January 6th, 2023.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, it's been a while. Um, where's the other one? Yeah. So we have to follow up with him because yeah, we voted him a purple. That might have been our last purple too. Yeah, it was our last
Really?
purple. Yeah, it hasn't been since January
Yeah.
that we had a purple,
It's
and
been a
the
while.
the homie just got a back to back. Like that's how you guys do it, man. That's how you
Crazy.
guys do it.
Wait, was
That's
it a
all.
different? It was a different song though.
It was a different song.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
what the fuck? We need to
yeah,
find out because yeah. Oh my god.
yeah. We should hit him up. The link. Let me see. Yeah, the track's no longer found.
This one's private though too.
Right. I just need to see if they. Wow,
More
they
vocals
didn't.
to record in tune, so it's not done yet, I guess.
Yeah, we should hit him up. So I don't think he got you on my mind. I'm trying to look on his SoundCloud right now. It doesn't look like they've released it.
Hmm.
So like we'll have to follow up with them. And just looking at it, looks like he used to do the Kenny Beats beat battle, and he
Hmm.
placed second place. So like
Oh shit.
this guy's like,
That's
yeah,
good.
that makes sense. Like he's been good, and he's been good for a while. Sounds like, and
Yeah.
bruh, like we gotta hit you up. This fire.
So good.
Vibes. What do you got? What's up, Solex?
Solex,
Shouts
welcome
out to
back.
you.
Solex, if you didn't hear this song, hopefully you did hear some of it. Look this guy
Yeah,
up. It's really
yeah. This
fucking
is
good.
crazy. We can fuck it. Let's share it. Let's put it in the chat. Oh wait, no, it's private. It's private.
Private, yeah.
Sorry. Can't do
I'm
that.
like, am I gonna dox him?
My bad.
But I mean, fuck,
Yeah, I
dude.
think this is a purple. So
I
vibes. What
said
do you have?
I think I said like 20 seconds in. Like, I mean, you just know when you hear something that's like of the quality of real like artists that are you listen to because it's good in all ways. Like it's just
Yeah,
like the sound is super there. Like the
it was
all of
interesting too. It was very like pretty unique.
it was like even like sonically it was kind of unique.
Hmm.
And just like the writing's super good, like really confident dramatic moves with like those drops out and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's what I'm always talking about. Like people always do these half-assed like I'm gonna drop like two instruments out and it's gonna be dramatic, and it's like no it's not. Like do this
this guy
where
like dropped out everything, including the effects. Like,
it's so good. Like it just
yeah,
feels so good
it was
to
cool.
hear one of those. So
Yeah,
it's just and like the placement of them when it's a little unexpected, and like it wasn't like a bunch of stuff looped at any point. It was like very like written like a song. Just like great production techniques, cool vocals, nice hook, catchy melodically.
Mhm.
Just keeps you hooked throughout the whole thing. I guess it's only 2 minutes 14 seconds, but it sounds like a good length to me. Not boring, not
Yeah,
too short either.
perfect. Oh, your stream just went out.
I know. I'll put it back. But yeah, I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I can agree with all those points. I think, yeah, this is purple to me, meaning like this is a track that I would add to my library as soon as I heard it. Um, just to, in terms of like constructive criticism, because he does say more vox to record in tune. I felt like I heard some of the room noise in the main vocal
Hmm.
from the beginning of it, and I thought at first that's what you were saying. You're like, oh no. I was like, oh, did he hear what I hear?
I
But then you
thought
were
that
like
was
like
just the
a
reverb that
stylistic
was
choice.
applied. Yeah, I thought it was
It
just the
was
reverb that was on it.
it was interesting because there's like no tail to it. which is weird, but like it
But it
added
might
a
have been like
timbre to
like
it.
a slapback delay or something like that. If
Maybe,
there's
yeah,
no tail
very
at all
short
to it,
tail.
it could just be a very short room delay. I mean, how can you
Right.
tell? Or room reverb, right? Like, how do you know if it's the mic or they just put that reverb on there?
Fair. Yeah. It felt like that to me. It felt like maybe he could get a cleaner recording, but I think it also added to the uniqueness. But I
Yeah,
did
it
like that
sounded
was like
real
part
too,
of
though.
my yeah, possibly. Yeah. So, take that with a grain of salt. I don't know if you wanted it to hear that way, Quinn, but yeah, but other than that, bro, what else is to say? It's just there's stuff where it was like super clean in the beginning, and not crowded, and I was really impressed when you had these buildups that were just white noise sweeps and like all these different instruments happening, and it sounded so lush, and your voice was going on. Nothing was in each other's way. Masterful. It was
Yeah,
fantastic.
super
So
nice.
great job. You're just flexing on us
Also,
with
Finding
this
Normal.
production.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, we
Peace. Catch you
appreciate you.
next Friday. Will probably be the Friday after that this time, actually, unfortunately. But yeah, stay tuned. Follow us on Twitch so you know when we go live again.
Yeah, if we do the next song, because this might be quick. I don't know if we have much to say in terms of
Yeah.
Christmas. This guy's the purple. Oh, Zag, what's up, Zag?
So, welcome back.
Yeah, Zag, listen to this, bruh. Wait, what? Wait, for what?
Wait, for what?
What?
You can
Dude,
keep.
listen to this song. It's a purple. Like, this is crazy. We
Yeah.
haven't had a purple since January. We haven't published
And-
it because it was a private track, and it's the same guy, different song. This
Yeah,
guy's crazy.
he's
My
really
B-Day's
fucking good.
tomorrow. I need your presence feedback. Bruh,
If you
don't
tip
do this to
us,
us. Yeah, yeah. You know the drill. You've been here before.
we have a
Because we
filled
have
up SQ right
we
now.
have Jokerhead, Finding Normal, who we just said bye to last August, Tafa, and then Yuzak. So uh, we can hit. If you hit us a fiber, we'll get you in right now
We have time for
immediately.
one more, so you'd be the
Yeah, we
last one.
do. But if not, I'm tipping you on my B day. Oh, that is sad. Don't do this to us. Don't do this to us. You
Gotta be
know,
fair.
yeah. What if it's
How do we know
it's
it's your
not your
birthday?
birthday? Yeah, bro. Is Zauk
I
that
go to
YouTuber that
restaurants. What?
is Zauk that one that we're like suspicious that it's like a YouTuber?
Yes, that's correct. So we can maybe we can check this somehow.
You gotta prove it. You gotta prove it that you're Zauk.
Government issued ID, please.
Yeah, yeah. But anyways, fuck, where were we at? Yeah. So vibes green all the way, like this
Yeah,
fire
it's green.
purple
It's great.
content. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, it's so well written. Like all the parts sound amazing. It's not it's not looped. It's like it's a fucking song that's crafted,
Yeah,
and it's super good, and the delivery is super good, and the melodies are catchy, and the lyrics are good, and this is a well packaged song. Take
yeah,
notes, folks.
yeah. Take notes, folks.
Super
Guys, we
good.
have principles. Okay, we have principles. We can't just let the whole operation go down. We can't trample on the lives of other musicians in front of you.
Yes.
Okay,
And
can't
Finding
do it.
Normal and Zaug are bonding about the fact they're both trying to bribe us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Zag's got this other thing where I'm sorry if you're actually Zaug. We don't know if it's just like a fan or if it's like Zaug itself. Because I think Zaug has a lot of like fans. So it's like,
Yeah.
wow, this big person's going to our little channel. Like, what do they want?
Interesting.
But we got a big shot like this guy going crazy. So just goes to show. Um, anyways, yeah, content for me is green. Do you have a score?
Green.
Production? Anything?
Yeah, production. I mean, I think you might have mentioned there's a little bit of a uniqueness in like the timbre. Like there are some
Yeah.
parts where there is kind of a wall of noise almost, and I think it's intentional, and I think it also adds to the sort of like chaotic, high energy, high emotion feel of this song. Staring directly at the sun, it's kind of representative. But yeah, I think like there's some points where you could argue it's like a little bit bright, but I don't think it was a problem. I was never like I need to turn down or anything like that. So I would just yeah, I'm still gonna say maybe a 99.9 for production, just in case there's some people with extra sensitive ears.
Yep.
But overall, it's really really big fat mix. Sounds great. Everything is just blended together well. There's no holes and it's not too crowded. It's really fun to listen to.
Yep. 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 Yeah, for my vocals, I agree with everything you said, and I think it's very well produced. I talked about the vocal thing a little bit. I'll knock a couple points off of that, but really, it's pretty much good to go. So I'll say 97 between green and yellow. Overall, purple. What about you?
Sweet. Yeah, no, I definitely
Top tier track. Sorry, I thought you said purple already.
yeah, no, top tier track for sure. It's
Quinn, we got to get back to you, bruh.
Yes.
We should hit them up because it's the second time it's happened.
We
You
can
need to
maybe do
finish
like a
your
double.
song
Yeah, we can do like a double feature on Instagram. So
for
yeah, for
real.
anybody who doesn't know how this works, if you get top tier track with like something really great,
This.
like this song, we will feature you on our Instagram, which is in the top right there at FastTrack_music. So go follow us there if you want to see
Whoa,
that when it comes
wrong way.
out. And we've got a playlist that we link to on there and some other stuff. So that's the place to see that, and our other updates we'll hopefully be sharing soon. But yeah, this is awesome. It's like pretty rare that we get a top tier track. I encourage anybody who thinks they have something that's like actually really good and could compete on like, you know, major playlists or with major artists, fits in that way, to send it to us. It's of course useful if you just want to get feedback on something that's not finished as well. That's most of what we do. But if you're like really extra confident that something is amazing, send it to us and we'll see if you get top tier track. So yes, that's where we are. Are you pointing to the different the
I wish
levels there?
Yeah, I wish that while I was talking about vibes or content, I
Oh
would
yeah,
just put my hand like this.
yeah.
I
It's
just
like
realized I could be doing it.
yeah,
Yeah. Now for content, and now
for
for
production. Yeah,
yeah. Anyways, Purple, congratulations, Quinn. Good job.
congrats indeed.
Yep.
We need like a confetti thing, but we'll figure
We
that out
really
at
do.
some point.
Really do. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Good music
Cool.
today. Good music.
Yeah, super great.
All right. Last song.
Yeah,
Jokerhead.
so if nobody else is
Tip, guys, last
tipping
time.
out,
You know, if you don't want to listen or you don't want to stay on your ass for 2 weeks with no feedback,
yes.
$5 right now. We'll get you in right now.
And guess what? It's $5, and it's always been $5, which means it's actually less expensive than it was originally because we have not accounted for inflation. So it should be like $5.50 or $5.60, something like that. But it's $5 just for you. So
yeah, bro, we broke as shit. Okay, we broke as shit.
Yep. We always. All right.
Yeah. 5, 4. There's 4 of you. 3. You want feedback now? 2. Let us know. Tip it. 1. All right, we'll go to Jokerhead.
Sold to Jokerhead.
Yeah, and interesting enough, there's 2 songs. Apparently, Ultraviolet is there, but I don't see it. So
yeah, there's no link.
So
and we've heard Ultraviolet enough times now, I think.
Yeah, and we probably need Jokerhead in the crowd for that. So
yeah, we do.
All right, so we'll do the retrospect undo.
Ooh, this looks different. It
looks
loud. It looks loud as fuck.
It does look loud. It's a work in progress, and there's a long description. Hello, I thought I'd give you a break from ultraviolence, thank you, and actually come back with an improvement on that track in 4 years. Well, in the meantime, long story long, fuck. When I started making music 63 years ago, you're not actually 80. There's no way.
It could be.
When I was 14 or 15, I would play some Daft Punk, Rammstein, Metallica, or some old house music on one speaker system and play some acapella rap, be it Eminem or what? Eminem or some other blah, blah, blah.
Smarties or DMX, even Akala. On my first gen Xbox, and listen to the 2 tracks together. I always loved trying to fuse styles. Yeah, that's cool. Here I am anyway, making
no way that sounded good.
Whips, works in progresses.
Yeah,
for ye to diagnose like musical psychiatrists. Good analogy. But whatever I send, I really appreciate the time and effort you both put into this channel and feedback for the indie artists like myself. Keep on doing. By the way, I have no idea what that rapper is on about. Don't understand the language and don't condone his actions. Oh,
at least this time he didn't guess the language of the rapper wrong. So
it was like French. He was like, "This is Spanish."
Yeah, that's good. All right, you ready?
Cool. Yes.
Retrospect. Jokerhead. Grease. 3, 2, 1.
I got a fucking ad. To pack someone. I got an ad for turkey.
Happening in what, like for the country?
Can we restart it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, it sounds like the frog made the beat.
The love. Yeah. The love.
Who is
Very
the rapper?
Jokerhead style.
Yeah. Why is it is so depressing.
Del lado oscuro como Vader, no es Mayday, es la idea, hacer lo que se siente, familia y amigos presentes, del sudor puro, pero puro, amor hasta pa' mis haters, in your hood, todo gira como en el mío, budas buscando lío, mano negra en el lodo, el silencio escribe mi bio, soy una grafía de ruido, roda, Se trata de atar nudos, soy desertor de mis propios conceptos. Quien quiere cambia, quien no cambia sabe vivir imperfecto. Voy a babor del filo, inexacto. No pierdo el hilo conductor y siempre choco en un directo. Se me van las horas en velas de fundiler y cerebro. Magic fingers en la franela, nadando entre nata. Street knowledge como Bambata, creando cuna pa' mis good fellas. Si tuviese que perder un sentido, elijo el común. Que de común tiene lo que el vodka de Absolute. Si tuviese que cargar algo, yo elijo mi propia cruz. El viejo preguntó que sigue, la vida respondió luz. Mañanas hermosas sin su presencia. Aprendí del cerdo trufero, encontré gemas en la mierda. Un mañana no es solo oportunidad, cuando ya sabes lo que un día nuevo representa. Y yo estoy dejando ideas abiertas. Fernando González, 1930. La vida es un enfermo que al tiempo le debe cuentas. La calle es ese hospital que acelera una muerte lenta. Respuestas en tonos de grises, se lee pa' que tu alma conozca nuevos matices. Niñas de 14, sexo, drogas y voces, evitando que analicen el mundo ante sus narices. Roedores tras el queso, malditos en acera, sacan benditos rezos. Que nunca muera, es eso, y salir ileso. Décadas en cada sala de espera. Y yo seguía de 11 a 8. Mi abuela, asustada, nunca entendió el trasnocho. Y seguramente me espera el féretro. Desea aprender para aprender. Descartes, discurso del método.
Whoa.
That was loud as fuck, Jokerhead. That was way too
It was
smashed.
loud. Did you turn down?
Yes,
Yeah.
I had to.
I turned down a bit, and like what I mean, after I turned down, it was okay, sort of. We've heard more compressed stuff.
Yeah.
It was definitely like, I don't know, it was sort of up there, but this is maybe one of my more preferable Jokerhead tracks. I liked it.
There you go. Talk about it.
It's cool. I mean, it was just like, I think it was a little simpler than a lot of Jokerhead stuff. Like it had a very like predictable but like engaging structure. You know, it sort of took you through the whole thing, and there were like transitions I think that made a lot of sense. I liked the vocals and like the intensity of them, and even like some of the mixing choices. There were like a lot of changing effects that actually kept it pretty interesting. Maybe some areas where they went a little bit too dramatic and it felt like too different from the rest of the vocal track.
Yeah.
Like there was one point where there was like a sort of weird like concrete wall reverb or something like that was pretty noticeable, and then it changed into something else. And it's like kind of interesting, those automated effects changes. It is very Jokerhead indeed, with just the tempo and the rhythm and the
Drums,
beat
yeah.
and the drums. But
Oh,
I thought it was like pretty good. I had a lot of intensity to it, and it was pretty well organized. But
both times I've heard like him put his beats over rap, like or raps over his beats, I've been pleasantly surprised.
yeah, I know.
Like I would be like, "There's no way this works." But
Well, I
like,
think he's been getting
it
better
sounds-
too.
well, its style. Like we always were like, "Oh, he's doing something like weirdly, like weird in terms of musicianship, where it's like very dissonant and
He has a lot of tritones, I think, or something.
tritones." Yeah, yeah.
Or
And
that's
it
actually just a minor third, really.
Right. Just something weird, and like it gives a deranged kind of looking at Jokerhead. It gives like a deranged feel to it, where I think like some hard hitting hip hop with high energy really it fits well.
Yeah, it does.
I do think that it just feels like they're like I don't know if the beat really made room for the vocalist to kind of fit in there or something. It felt like it was definitely just one on top of the other.
Yeah.
What is it? Not consistency, but just gluing things together wise. But yeah, I think it does work pretty well. I think the first rapper's flow fit much better on the beat than the second one. It sounded like the second one. If I were you, Jokerhead, I'd probably move it a little bit earlier in terms of relative to the beat. It sounded like he was behind the beat a little bit, and that can kind of work in some hip hop beats. I think like going behind the beat and not exactly on it. But this style of beat, I think it has to be a little bit more like on the dot. So I don't know. That's something I'd try if you're trying to make this track a thing. But yeah, that's kind of my comments. Do you have a score?
Yeah, no, I think for vibes, I'd probably give this like a solid 85, maybe.
Damn, I see.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I'm at like 65, 69 territory.
Sure.
Personally, Ito Meyer, if you send a song, this is the last song of the day. So we will get to you the next time we stream. It might be, or most likely 2 weeks from now.
Or maybe we can figure out like a half stream because we have so many in the queue.
Maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, we've got.
Well, 3 of them are finding normal, but yeah, I see what you mean. Yes, yes,
Well,
yes.
we'll do one for each artist. But yeah,
Submit. You know the
Corey
drill.
and
Like submit it anyways. We'll get to you.
yeah, we get to everyone that submits. But yeah, Corey, welcome back. Ito Meyer, welcome back as well. We will
Yep.
definitely get to y'all when we do, and hopefully maybe we'll be able to do like a short stream at some point
Yeah.
next week. But and make sure you're subscribed to us on Twitch so you get notified, and maybe Discord as well. Actually, that's probably a good idea. I'll put the
Yep.
Discord in the chat. But yeah, do you want to go to content?
Yeah. 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 What do you got for content?
I mean, again, I appreciated how much simpler it was than a lot of Jokerhead stuff. It wasn't too busy. There wasn't like crazy instruments all over the place that weren't necessary. It was like I think fine for what it is. And again, I mean, the content I have to say had that signature Jokerhead, drum part,
Do,
which
do, 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 do.
I always think a little bit like, oh, it's this again. But then it's like I kind of enjoy it. Like
It's like a producer tag.
it kind of is like
Yeah.
it's a little bit hypnotic or something. Yeah, I kind of like it, but content wise, yeah, I think again I liked the delivery of the two vocalists. Maybe you could work out the timing a little bit with the second one. I didn't exactly notice it consciously, but I could see that in the second one.
Yeah.
And some of the choices of like automation and stuff could maybe just make sure that they're refined enough and
Yeah.
like not weird or jarring, but also like intentional. It's like you don't want to be in that uncanny valley where
Yep.
somebody like may not be able to hear those effect changes, but it sounds weird. You want it to be like noticeable, intentional, interesting, cool effect changes, and
Yeah.
also make sure they're balanced well enough with each other.
Exactly. Don't take away attention from like the vocalist here. Like it seemed
Yeah.
like it was like when those weird things happened, it was very distracting.
And yeah, they should be intentional too. Like it can be like there's a line or a part that's like that, and then it
Exactly.
switches, but not
Yeah.
like all over the place necessarily. But
That's where
also like
collaboration is like key. If you could, the best case
yeah,
scenario would be like you'd know what they're talking about, but
yeah.
it's a different language. Why are you doing it to a different language, Jokerhead? Like you're just making things harder. Like I don't know. It's just interesting. It's cool, but yeah, it's just yeah,
I thought it was cool. But
yeah.
yeah. Do
Content
you have any other
score?
content thoughts or
Nah,
just scores?
nah, not much.
Mm,
My score, I think. The beat was decent. It fit well with the vocals and the energy, especially the first one. The second one needs to be retimed or something. It did not fit for me. And then we talked about the weird automations that were just kind of distracting. Uh, I think for me that puts me it's kind of 69 territory again. I'll say content. Would I put it higher than vibes? No, I'll say like it's about the same for me. 65 between green and yellow. What about you?
yeah, I think I'll say 75, sort of going in line with vibes.
All right, I'll
Like
split the middle.
again,
I'll go 69. This is a 69 type of song
that
for me.
wasn't hard.
Yeah, this is 69 type. I'm not married to it, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Production, what do
You're
you got?
just 69 to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
Nice,
then
holy 60.
yes.
Okay.
Oh boy. And then unnecessary production.
Get
I
this
would
show rolling.
say it is a little loud and it's a little bit compressed, and that's not something that I think is foreign to you, Jokerhead. But it's not like things are balanced terribly. Actually, I think the balance is okay. It's really just like it could be a teeny bit less slammed on the compression, and you could probably integrate the vocals with the mix a little bit better by like doing some sort of ducking, like ducking parts out with this, maybe even with some sort of side chain. And the compression is doing a little bit of that for you, but it's compressing everything to smithereens in the process. So I would just be careful with that. But yeah, otherwise I think it's well balanced enough. It is just a little bit loud and a little bit, compressed, distorted
I
slightly.
agree. Yep, I agree with that. That puts me at like 80, maybe 75 actually between green and yellow.
Yeah, I think for me, probably the mix is 69.
Yeah, that's fair. You know what? I'll go down. No, I'm just kidding. I'll leave that score higher
Oh,
there.
you'll go down now, will you?
Oh yeah, we're going down. This is a 69 between green and yellow, Joker. Congratulations.
Yes, between yellow
That's
and
my
green.
track total. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and then I think track total. I'll actually say like 75 for track total as well because I
I'm at
like it.
69.
I think especially relative to your stuff so far, this is on the track to being really great. So
Fair.
props to you.
69.
Cool. I'm 75. You're 69 though, right?
Yes, I'm 69. Yes.
Yes, we know.
All right, 69, Jokerhead. Good job.
Dope. Good job. And
All right, that's it. That's all, folks.
that's the show. Thank you for joining. Also, we should mention. Oh, we got a
Thank you for
follow.
the follow, Slit.
Woo! Was that the name?
Yeah, Slit 253.
Nice. Thanks, Slit.
How do you? It's like dangerously close to the word slut.
Oh yeah.
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 Wait, are
Welcome.
you? Wait. Doesn't that mean you're muted?
Huh?
Watching without audio. How do you hear us?
Wait. What?
Crazy. That little thing. It shows like.
Maybe it's through some other device or something. I assume that they can hear us.
I don't know. I'm cheating, Lol. What?
Something's going on.
You're a hacker, bro? I don't know.
Anyways,
Maybe he's got
he's
closed
listening from
captions
the
on.
mainframe. Pick it up
Because
as icon. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
what the fuck?
Interesting. Anyways, yeah,
Sweet.
thanks. By the way, so we give feedback here. Slit, if you want to submit a track, then the link should be in the chat.
Ye-
We get to every track that's submitted, and we try to give as detailed feedback as possible. We've got a bit of a queue. Turns out a lot of people like getting feedback, which is awesome. And we may not be back next week. We might try to do something short, but otherwise we'll definitely be back in 2 Fridays. Normally every Friday from 5:30 to 7:30 Central Time. And you can follow us, find out what's going on our Instagram up there, FastTrack_music, and follow us on Twitch. But also, we should mention we're building something even more exciting than this.
Ba-ba-da-ba!
A full-fledged web platform that will allow you to get feedback from industry professionals, people that have been around the block with artists like you in your genre and in the areas that you need expertise in. And it'll allow you to essentially build your own little tag team of professionals to make your best music yet and actually have a shot at competing with everyone else that's making music. So you got to make the best thing possible. And Chris is outlining our categories there, which are indeed somewhat a part of the platform. So it's a
Yes.
super useful structure that will allow you to save your feedback, go back to it, collaborate with others on your tracks, and track your improvement until you get that hit song. So that's what we're building. Sign up at fasttrack.studio. The link is in the chat. The beta is obviously free to join, and we'll let you know when you get in to help us make the best product possible, something that's super useful for you as well. So yeah, we as musicians are just trying to make the best tools that we can to make making better music easier and faster. So that's what we are doing here at FastTrack. You got anything else, Chris?
Get your ass crack in the fast track beta.
Yes, exactly.
I'm good, bro.
Cool.
All right. Let's get the fuck out of here. 5 viewers. Shouts out to y'all. Appreciate it.
Yes, let's
Thank you
get
for
out
the
of
good
here.
music. Shout out Quinn. Purple track. Listen back.
Purple track today.
That's what we want, guys. It's a good day.
Indeed. Yes. Cool. All right. Thanks,
All right.
everyone. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again soon.
Peace.